joining me. I was in New York last week for Mario's workshop. As you guys know, he is Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, and obviously one of his most trademarked looks is his under eye concealer, the foundation, all of that stuff. So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys in this video. I haven't done my eyes in this video though, so you're not going to see that. Hey guys, I'm going to start off by showing you guys how he does the skin. I'm not doing the eyes in this video just because I noticed that his main thing is definitely the skin and making it look beautiful, dewy, radiant, that kind of thing. So as always, I'm going to start off by definitely clipping my hair back just so it's out of my face. And then I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in a little bit. Okay. And then, so the first thing that he started off saying is that he doesn't use primers, not for the eyes, not for the face, just because he thinks that if you have oily skin, you're very lucky because it's not going to wrinkle as fast and powder is your best friend. And I agree with that philosophy, but I haven't gotten that confident yet to not use a primer because I'm scared that my oily skin is going to break through from everywhere. So for my purposes, I am going to use primer. I am going to actually use, instead of my normal MAC Face Protection Visage, I'm going to use the Tarte Recreate Silicone Free Primer. I'm just going to take the tiniest bit and rub it into my skin. I'm really liking this primer. Of course, make sure that your face is moisturized. He always does that to the client also, but I woke up earlier this morning and moisturized my skin then, so I don't need to do that again right now. So while that soaks in, I'm going to go ahead and put on my Origins Ginseng on my under eye area. I just find that not even in terms of like puffiness and dark circles, I just like this because it definitely is like an optical illusion. And it helps make the concealer under my eyes stick on better and doesn't like crease everywhere and stuff, so I definitely like that. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and put on my corrector for my pigmentation. He said he doesn't really use correctors too much, but I do want to do certain things that I know that my skin is going to need. But I'm of course going to show you like, you know, how to perfect it and stuff. If you guys don't have these problems, then of course you're not going to worry about this too much. Okay, so then what I learned from him was that he loves cream foundations. He doesn't really use too many liquids, and I've, you know, watched so many interviews by him and stuff that I kind of know his style pretty well. So, and I think that I've noticed that with creams, you end up looking a lot more natural. I always thought that it would be the opposite, where when you use cream foundations, you don't look as natural, but I've kind of learned the opposite. So I'm going to go ahead and start off using my Graftobian foundation in Desert Sand. It's a cream foundation. I'm going to use the Sigma Foundation F60 brush. Now, he definitely uses a ton. Like, when I'm talking a lot, I mean, like, he definitely is not sparing anything. This is just going to be, like, a messy, like, foundation. I'm not going to try to perfect it or anything right now, just because I'm going to go back in with the Beauty Blender. He loves the Beauty Blender, says that's one of his most prized possessions. And that's why it's also kind of easier to, you know, learn as you go. You can make mistakes when you're using a Beauty Blender because it definitely helps erase them. I know a lot of people aren't that good at blending the foundation and really getting it to sink into your skin. But with this method, you learn that the Beauty Blender really helps with that. Okay, I'm also going to sweep that over my eyelids. This is especially good if you have got pigmentation on your eyelids. It'll definitely help with that. Okay, and then I'm going to take a very dark foundation. This is going to look crazy to you guys, but I'm actually going to use this color right here. And this is called Sienna. Very, very dark brown, I know. but I'm going to use this for the outer corners of my face. Remember, we're going to go back and blend, so I know if you guys think this is crazy, I promise it's not going to stay this way. This is definitely going to help make your face look like it has a lot more structure. It's going to elongate your cheekbones. It's going to just make it look like you have so much more structure and like good bone structure, like you were born with it. This is like cosmetic surgery without the cost of it. So you're basically going to do like a 3. You're going like that and out. Like this and out. Okay, I know this looks crazy, but the rounder your face is, the more of this you can use. This is a very dark color, and I'm aware of that, but I promise it's going to look a lot more natural. And even if you are very light-skinned, just use a color that you think is going to help bring out the natural, like the areas that the sun would tan you, like the tops of your head, the bottoms of your cheeks, you know, your hollows, and where you want product or your face to kind of disappear. So just use a color like a little bit darker than you, not anything like insane. Like if you are, you know, really, really fair skinned, you wouldn't use this color. You would use something a little bit lighter, maybe something like that or that, but just make sure that it has more yellow to it than pink, because I've noticed that with when you're doing this contouring method and you're using pink, it doesn't tend to work out as well. Okay, now go ahead and grab a damp beauty blender. You don't want it to be sopping wet, but you do want it to be damp. And we're going to go through and stipple this all over your makeup. Like take this and pull the darker parts of your makeup outward into the hair. With this, you never ever want to like drag it across your face. You just want to use a stippling motion. This is what gives your face that flawless finish that we're going for. And it's going to really help blend everything together. If you're going to pull it, you're basically taking away that makeup, which is not what we want. Make sure to run this all over your face also. Okay, see how much more natural that looks with my face? Definitely looks like it has dimension. I always feel like if you're going to make your skin look flawless by putting on foundation, you definitely don't want it to be dimensionless. You want it to look like you have planes to your face. So now what we're going to do is that he loves these huge powder puffs by MAC, so I went and got some. And this is Ben Nye's Banana Luxury Powder. You're going to take this powder puff. You are literally going to soak this in the banana powder. So I've taken out some banana powder in here. I'm going to take this sponge, soak it in there, you know, wipe off the excess. He always uses his hand. And you are going to start powdering. I'm not powdering the contours yet. I'm just powdering the other parts of my face. Also, what he likes to do sometimes is go like this under the contour and let it be a line so you can actually kind of see like what you're working with. Like that. So make sure to get the oily parts of your skin really, really well with this, because remember, if you're not using a primer and you're going the 100% Mario method, then you want to make sure that you are using powder to take away any of that shine that you think that you're going to get. So I'm being very careful to get my nose really, really well. So now already you should be able to see that this middle part of your face is lighter and the outside is not. And that's what we're going for. So now you're going to keep your banana powder and stuff out. We're going to use this again. But now if you notice, I haven't done my concealer yet, because what he always does is he goes in and does his eyes first, and then he'll go through with the concealer. This video, I'm not going to show you how to do the eyes, so I'm just going to show you the face and concealer. So before I do the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and use a bronzer. Well, this is actually MAC's Mineralize Skin Finish in the color Dark. If you guys have any of the terracotta bronzers, that's his favorite. and he loves those, and also the ones by Smashbox. So I'm going to take this Studio Tech or something. What's this called? Real Techniques. Wow. By Samantha Chapman. I'm going to go through and bronze over the liquid foundation. Or I mean the cream. Just because, again, you want that to set. And if you remember, we didn't set that before. So this is a powder that we are using to set it. Okay, so now as far as concealer goes, it makes sense to kind of do this after you're doing your eyes, just because that way, you know, you're not pulling and tugging on this and taking out your concealer and displacing it when you're working on your under eyes, you know, your eyeliner, that kind of thing, because you always have to use the side of your face. If you even notice, you can see like the finger marks where I've been pulling and tugging in my eyes to kind of put on my stuff too. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is that I'm going to use Eve Pearl's Salmon Concealer. Make sure you are using something that's got a little bit more of a pink undertone. We all know that works better. This is in the color Tan. Well, he did everything pretty much with this brush. You can use a concealer brush like this, but I think since I'm going to do since I'm showing you guys everything Mario related, I'm going to go ahead and use this brush. So you're going to just put that on under. And you're going to drag it down. Make sure that you don't just do this little number right here and only do this area. Make sure you're first dragging it into your nose and then downwards into your skin. And you're going to see this whole area that looks so much lighter and prettier. Now this doesn't have to look perfect either, because we are going to go back with the trusted beauty blender. But he loves concealer. I'm putting on a lot less than he does, but it's up to you to decide on, you know, what you think is wearable and where you're going to be going that day, that kind of thing. So you can add as many layers as you want, but he always uses a cream concealer, something that he says a little bit chalkier, not as fluid, because that gives you better coverage. It's going to stay on better also. Okay. So now I'm going to go back with this beauty blender and just even it out and make sure that it is looking natural. That water definitely helps to seal it in to the rest of your skin. Okay. And then what he does is that he actually takes that banana powder and uses a damp sponge. So I'm going to use the sponge right here, and he uses that to set the under eye concealer. What a damp sponge is going to do is it's going to give you a little bit more coverage than a dry sponge. And I'm going to also warn you that when you use different sorts of powders, make sure you are using something that will work well with the damp sponge. Because I tried a different powder before, and it definitely did not take to the damp sponge. So I had little granules across my face. So yeah. And he puts on a ton of powder, so keep powdering that up until you get the desired coverage that you want and the look that you want. So okay, so then as far as the rest of the face goes, you're going to, of course, go ahead and put on your blush and bronzer. So I'm going to go ahead and use this blush right here. This is also from Mario, and it's called Style by MAC. Gonna apply that right in the apples of my cheeks. He usually doesn't like to take blush all the way to the hairline, and he said to make sure that the apples of your cheeks are right here. Don't drag it too low, because you'll get a completely different face shape and your skin can look really bad with that. So just make sure you keep it right here. If you've gone for a stronger contour than I have, then make sure that you drag some bronzer up here too and kind of blend it in so it doesn't look like you're wearing blush and then two lines across your face. You want it to all look natural. And then, of course, In true Mario fashion, we're going to finish off with some I Am Glam highlighter on the cheekbones. This is his own highlighter. It's called I Am Glam by Giella. And I'm just going to take a tiny amount. This is the tapered highlighter brush by Sigma F35. I'm going to take it right up here, directly on the cheekbones. You can also take it down your nose depending on the type of look that you're going for, but I'm not going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows, do my mascara, that kind of thing, and then you guys can see the finished look. I just wanted to show you specifically what he taught me because the rest of what I'm going to be doing is really my own method. So I'll be back in just a minute. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you found it informative and helpful. If you guys have any questions, as always, post below.